Divine blessings. It's good to see you.
Gareth will know what to do. He'll take care of us.
The goddess's tears still
What's this? I found something. I need to dig here. I need a shovel. Let's go.
Malady grabs the vessel with
God-woken. Wait till she finds out.
salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sun.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
Let this be a lesson to Alexander and his cronies. We will not be held.
I've no sympathy for those who die in the line of duty, especially as odious a duty as those dead magisters held.
I'll be damned if I ever set foot on that island again. Don't care who I have to bury. Onward now! The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the...
Pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation.
I remember this one. His name was Kerben. His friend's sword couldn't save him, it would appear.
Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Sendelius, pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us.
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment. Nothing. The ship is live wood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just...
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a
Thank you. We were held captive together on this ship. He kept my... Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you...
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those
You know their names, Malady.
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken.
Ah, very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive. Question him. Someone has been hunting your kind, and Alexander fancies himself the only Godwoken worthy of us. As far as we know, you may even be the last still alive. Yes, we certainly had better.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue. Quite expedient, isn't it? Dallas seems to have made a ship out of an ancestor tree, then found a way to bind the spirit within. That means only she can control it. Unless we can find a way to break the bond. Go ahead and try. Maybe a pure breed will have better luck than I did. But whatever you do, hurry it up. The longer we sit here, the...
We won't let that happen.
Yes, and all that.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It has...
These Seekers have such a limited skill.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They're kind of like to feel useful. That's the...
Void Slayer, Worm Killer, Godwoken, Driftwood of Meister C. She held the Seekers together when we had every reason to fall apart. I won't let the fallen be forgotten. I'd be no better than Dallas. To think that whelp spawned from... He's down there now, guarded. Amazing to think those of us in the Order once assumed the gods were with him. The Seekers were once part of the Order. When Lucian died, we waited. Yet Alexander... The Seekers were born. We found Godwoken. But let's leave the past in the past and reach for what's ahead. Think of her as a teacher. The powers... She's not. I don't know, but there are times...
Gareth fingers the hilt of his...
Keep Lucian close.
Our survival hinges on getting this ship moving, Godwoken. We are searching every corner of it for anything that might help us.
Very well. First, you must know that I'm a... I'll give you a moment to let that... You have no doubt heard the tales of certain setbacks that befell me. It was then, forced as I was to wander the wilds, but the voice spoke from too great a distance, too faintly to be understood. Yet I had to understand. Somehow, the point is that, unlike your attention span, I did not give up until I found what I was looking for. I searched this island for a dreamer, one of the mystics of our kind who, as you undoubtedly know, can travel the dream world at will. And so I met with Bahara in the sanctuary of Amadia. We raced through dream wastes, beset. It turns out it was that of Brahmos the Wanderer, the greatest and most elusive. He desires that I should meet him, somewhere on Reaper's coast. And meet him I shall.
made it, Godwoken. Good. Not all of us did, though. The sooner we leave this island behind us, the better.
I'm glad to see you again, Godwoken, but I can't talk right now. If we don't figure out how to get this ship moving, we're dead.
Not now. Now is not the time for that. I can't use this now.
Nice to meet another so-called...
An amused expression crinkles the crow's feet at Iffin's graying temple.
I'm gonna hunt down my old pack leader and find some answers. The Lone Wolves have been tasked with killing Godwoken. I'm Godwoken, and a Lone Wolf. That's a problem. Say, on the way there, I could use someone to watch my back. And it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. Sure is. Shame to look a gift horse in the mouth. Like I said...
The burly dwarf...
2 heads are better...
He drags a comb.
Not a thing but spiders and disappointment. Take a lot to sink at.
Allies for hire.
Speak to me if your look so, what'll it be? I've plenty, so what'll it be? And who couldn't? I have several who can fight their way out of a corner. Give me specifics. A lot of choice, I know.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing. The old band back together again, Look at me. Hard.
Losa leans back slightly, thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
But I'm not the same, am I? Your god wants me dead. My... god? Devil? Who knows? It wants me. I want to make sure you understand... well, the risks. You don't get it. I'm dangerous. You have to pay attention. You have to be willing to hurt me if I'm hurting you. Can you do that? Promise? Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim...
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch. Let's go, Chief.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just don't make me regret it. Hope you find something useful.
A young magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot. So stow your questions, elf. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. The Magister's stare hardens into an...
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel. Magister Ranley, Corker's... Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine. All right.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle.
Being behind bars suits you, murdering scum.
Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oil. The gem sits heavily in your pouch. Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash. The bishop's white robes are stained with blood. Someone has wiped the bishop's hand. Bishop Alexander lies Someone has wiped the bishop's hands. Bruises swell. The bishop's
Magister Ranley. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate.
Bishop Alexander lies...
I'll keep an eye on the red until the cage is locked again. I've spotted something.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or the face vanishes. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door.
No entry allowed through the starboard stateroom door.
I am summoned. Speak the password. You've summoned me with the gem, indeed. Yes, and...
Just one more moment, please.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks? I'm a prisoner, of course. Do you think I'd be sitting here calmly if I was a Magister holdout? That infernal Dallas woman left me trapped here, too weak to escape. It seems I'm in your debt. Dallas took our particular and she kept me here to do her bidding. And oh yes, she could be a most...
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath...
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process. Well, the situation is looking immeasurably better now. You'll hear no more complaints from me. So why don't you tell me all about my valiant rescuers? To whom do I owe my thanks? You undersell yourself. The roster of those who stood up to the I ought to continue what I'm doing here. Unless there was anything else? Dallas didn't tell me anything if she could avoid it. But I did overhear her practicing an ancient lizard dialect. Significant, perhaps, don't you think? Indeed. Perhaps you should look about. There might be something of the sort that you could use to that effect. Despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire the woman a little. She's... If you cross paths with her, be sure to break her. I doubt you will get another chance. Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole...
That damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is... a blur. No! Necromancy is an unsavory practice, not something to be trifled with lightly.
His face abruptly creases into a smile.
But come now. Enough of Dallas and dead cats. You've taken this ship and granted my freedom. This is a happy moment. I'm afraid I cannot tell you what I do not remember. Could you pass me that...
He takes the copper with a nod of gratitude. His sleeve slips back, above his elbow. In its crook, you see part of a tattoo. A pattern of concentric...
Perhaps my memory will come back with time. But for now, I'm afraid there's little more I can add. I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this? Well, you're painting me into a corner here, friend. And I
Something tells me that he'll only bring us woe, but I can't judge him.
Unperturbed, he holds up his index finger in a one-moment please gesture before tightening...
Ah, that's better. The hard way?
What's this? I found something. This looks like a teleporter pyramid. It could certainly come in handy.
Only one way to find out. Try using it.
Those guards. Or victims.
Both, I fear.
Another pyramid.
You can put a price on the warriors I have for hire, but you can't put a price on the glory they'll win you.
Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find rest. Blessings to our fallen. Pray that they may find...
The deck beneath you groans and trembles, like the ship itself is awaking from a slumber. A deep sigh emerges, unmistakably the sound of a living being.
You are not the witch. You are not Dallas. You sang the song. Now you must decide my fate. Are you to be my new master? Perhaps lizard blood does not truly run cold then. Thank you. But I cannot be free again. Not truly. I am a vessel, and must be guided. Let me ask. I am here to serve in all ways.
The creaking of the ship eases into a contempt.
Once, I was an elf. I passed away, and that time has passed. I saw that forest reduced to a dead place. Then I was taken away. My memories were sacrifice must be made willingly. Our fate, of course. Wherever there is sea, I will endeavor to bring you. Consult.
A slow, toothless smile stretches across her face.
To driftwood, then. It most certainly is. Forward.
With the sun on their backs and the wind in their sails, the God-woken watched Fort Joy shrink behind them. But their capture of the Lady Vengeance had not gone unnoticed.
I respect your mettle, Sourcerers. You steal my ship, kill my bishop, and ally with demons. But you have no idea what you're really dealing with.
We are ready, Mistress.
Yes, but are they?
I swear, Mistress.
Very well. Goodbye, Sorcerers. This is my ship. I won't see taken from under my feet. You, act!
Oh, for the love of the void. Listen up. We can't win this one, but I can get us to safety. You'll need to buy me show us what you can do, Godwoken.
Godwoken? Parasites rot.
I'll take care of it. May you burn a great, beautiful blaze.
will not take me again, Dallas.
die.
Bring her to her knees. Do it!
Taste some for yourself.
Almost there. A little longer.
With the help of the half-demon malady, the God-woken escaped through the veil that separates life from death.
The air here has a familiar smell, like the place you grew up. Old memories begin to well within you, but the sweet sour smell of decay, a faint creaking sound.
Is that a tree?
Must be a way across. Sandelius. The gods. Are they dead? How can this be?
Tight coils wrap Sandelius. As he regains consciousness, Sandelius frees an arm from the tendrils that bind him. He clutches at the coils, but cannot...
Curse these snakes! The others too? Am I the first to wake? It doesn't matter. There is no time. It struck even here. In these halls. It is here. The cosmic spider ever we... The void is coming for us gods. Coming to drink us dry of our powers. We stand no chance. Not hit. Yes. Soon the Seven will be nothing but more. Unless you do as I bid you have already set loose some of the powers locked within you. But you cannot stop until you ascend to the highest heights of... You cannot stop until you become divine. Like Lucian, you will be called to unite the powers of the Seven against the Void. Like Lucian, you will lead our proud people to preeminence. But either a new divine rises, or the world falls prey to the Void. You are my champion. So set off in pursuit. Good. Hush, it's here. Run! Go!
White-hot cold pierces your heart like a blade. You are frozen to the spot. The burning cold pumps through you like...
What's happened here? Where is everyone?
The same troubled look is visible on each face. You've seen the gods beaten and defiled, strung up as a warning.
The Void did that to the gods. What chance do the likes of us have?
Gods, schmods. They aren't interested in me, and I'm not interested in them. It seems whatever's inside me is more powerful than any of them anyway.
The Void has been pushed back before by the power of mortals. The gods couldn't handle it. But maybe we can.
Not right now. Come back later.
There's no time. I can't hold it. Brace yourself. A lot.
The chill of the Hall of Echoes clung to the Lady Vengeance as it returned to the shores of Reaper's Coast. The Godwoken were alive, but what of the gods?
solid ground materializes beneath your feet. Your weight falls back into your body all at once, and bright sunlight. As your eyes adjust, you realize you're still aboard the Lady Vengeance. Augusta.
One moment, please.
Malady explodes in a fit of retching that racks her body. At last, she sneezes and expels a glob of something shiny and silver onto the deck.
Let's not do that again anytime soon. Well, we needed to escape, didn't we? So I took it. I suppose you recognized the Hall of Echoes from those visions you'd had before. I do hope you learned something useful on our little field trip.
In one gesture, Malady rolls her eyes, darts forward, and sinks a fang into your ear for the...
Next time, I'll pick a spot you won't soon forget.
She runs her tongue across her teeth, tasting your blood.
So, your guard seemed uncharacteristically frightened, then said the void was coming, and well then, it sounds like you need to ascend, doesn't it?
She inspects her fingernails with great attention, then looks up at you from under...
Did they mention how you were meant to become the next divine? Well, luckily for you, Mama Malady is... We already know you can bless, but as far as I know, you can neither see source nor take it as you see fit. I may not know much about divinity, but I do know that any godwoken worth their salt will know how to perform all these so fantastic... You need to go see the Meister. As have I, but not in the ways a true godwoken can. Forget those ghastly little jars and wands. You ought to be able to see and speak to the spirits that wander our realm. And you ought to be able to extract the source they leave behind, too. All this, when you're done, you'll be able to amass and unleash quantities of source so great the loot... I quite look forward to seeing it. She's got one of those things in Driftwood, you know, the building where people go and they do things inside of it. Home, that's it. She's got a home. Give me your map. There you are. Tell her you're at the beginning of a long journey, Godwoken. Long, but exceedingly interesting. Now, I must be going, and so must you, shopping. Why, our faithful little sloop, of course. We can, before you go... If I'm not back by the time you find out where our journey takes us next, you can call me back here. And in the unlikely case you don't manage to do whatever it is you'll need to do to become what you need to become...
To kill him again, yes. But more than the contract, I've got questions about what really happened during the war.
He raises one hand to shield the...
As far as tracking him down is concerned, right now, we're headed for Driftwood. And last I heard, my old pack were camped out near there. If anyone will know who...
Hey, before we dash off into the wild world yonder, I should mention, Malady and I had a talk on the way here. Oh, you know, this and that. And she mentioned that the thing in my head is probably a demon. Told me there's a fella not so far from where we're headed who might be able to help me with it too. I know, it's great, exciting, terrifying. A heady mixture of all three. We better get a move on. You've got your business to handle.
It's loose. Get off me and stay off.